Welcome back to another episode of the Herco vodcast. As always, we are here with Fairy King.
Hey.
And, as normal, we are the drunks. Oh, it wasn't on cue.
Oh, you failed.
Drunks of the round table.
Sucks being live because you can fuck up shit. And
I can't edit that one. I can't edit that one.
out.
That one's it. Today we're going to talk about our normal random shit. Mostly our last paranormal investigation.
Which
it was weird.
Yeah,
it got really weird.
So this time, we actually got in the paranormal investigating unit that drives.
That's the Toyota.
The Toyota.
The Toyota.
And we actually went out in the wilderness to investigate the old railroad tracks that we have out in our back 40 here. A lot of stuff we heard about that. Then we found out actually the road on the other side of the railroad tracks, people have died right on that strip, right out in front of our driveway and our neighbor's driveway.
There's actually a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But what the most craziest part I think out of that entire experience was the original reason we went out there was because I had seen my first full body apparition out there, and it was a woman in like that old time clothes where it was like the tan shit. It was like the tan cloth outfit. And it was weird because we asked for her name a bunch of times, and I know you haven't seen that episode, but the responses we got, which of course we couldn't hear at the time, but when we got the responses back, it was like, okay, we actually found some weird shit out there, because that was kind of a little bit disturbing, but we got it.
And then we got what, Phil?
We got what?
Was it Philip?
Philip was the first blacksmith.
One. Yep,
Don't know where that one.
He was the first one that we went, is there everybody out here? He came up.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, we had already put out a video where we went and did this investigation, and it was very interesting because I shit you not, we came back to the shop that night and I brought up my camera and I was just gonna we're just gonna kind of go over a few things here and there. We're just gonna look at some stuff, and here we seen like actual shit moving around. It's like, okay, light reflection, we can understand that, how that works, but it was like we couldn't explain the movement, and even if it was like hot air, like moistury hot air, the way it moved and stuff, and how it just swirled and then come in and then it come out.
We did have a storm coming in, so we had to put that in the equation.
That was wild because we did end up in a full storm that night.
We were
under a what was it? It was the blood moon lunar eclipse.
Yep.
And we were in a lightning storm.
Yep, because I was over at my buddy's, and I came back, and we're looking at the radar, and I was like, should we do it? It was like, all right, let's back up, let's try.
I felt really dumb about posting that one because when we posted that one, because we didn't know if we were going to go out or not, it was like, when you came back,
our first adventure. We didn't know what to take with us. Where were we going to be up against?
When you came back, you're like, are you all set up? Are you ready to go and stuff? And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. Because I didn't think we were actually going to do it because I was worried about equipment. Because it's like, my God, we just finally got cameras. We just finally got an audio recorder now, so we actually are in stereo now instead of mono.
What are we going to do with range? We're going to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
No cover.
And it was like, I didn't want to lose any of our equipment, but it was so cool.
I have to bring this up. Did we mention? Oh, yes, we did. They were the drunks around.
We are the drunks of the round table, and we are at our old studio, which is the big studio. We tried.
The little one was just.
We tried.
A little claustrophobic.
It was. The table was too small. The room was too small. I don't have enough soundproofing, and I'm a very loud person, so the second I start talking, it just ricochets off of everything.
Even with the soundproofing,
it just high-tings so damn bad.
So we came back to our old standard.
Yep, and now we've got I love our new audio stuff. We can actually hear stuff. And in our last investigation, there was stuff in that last
stereo now.
There was stuff in that last investigation that was like, you would think I added audio. And even it's like, if I was watching our episode, I'd be like, oh, they added that. I didn't actually add that. That was actually in there, like the clicks and like the woman like crying or laughing or something. I still can't explain that. That was real. That was in there.
Because when we went out there, it got deadly calm, and we could see light down in the distance. We didn't know what we were going to be up against, so we were trying to put two and two together, do stuff. So it was a little complicated. We didn't have the right stuff.
The worst part was I built that REM pod fish, the floppy fish REM pod. I was so proud of this thing because its eyes would light up, it would flip, it did everything. Here to come find, somehow, because of how I had the wiring in there, I had actually pinched it in the box, and it crushed the motherboard ever so slightly, where it actually was using the lights itself as a antenna. So it was just ricocheting around, and it was backfeeding, and it was barely even working. And here I thought it didn't have batteries in it. That was not the case, because I actually had to take the fish apart.
Do we actually even turn this thing on?
We did not.
All right. We did
Our
find out.
shop is still haunted.
Yeah. But we found out last night, for some reason, this table that we got from...
We have an episode about it, too.
Yeah, an old guy.
Old military guy that used to sit around and drink whiskey and play poker with his friends. That's what it came down to.
And the Jarl went and got it out in the place and got a whole bunch of weird stuff.
We actually have a whole episode about that in the podcast, because we did a haunted podcast where we did here in this very spot with this table.
Yep, and we found out if we moved somewhere else, it didn't do anything.
That was when you had Godzilla holding it. You're like, Godzilla's fucking breathing air down it, man.
Yep. And it just never did what it did on this table, because we'd be sitting down here and all of a sudden the thing would just like literally go red. For a long time when we were talking to it, we couldn't figure it out, but it was like, this table's got some history. We don't really know the whole background of it.
It was even funnier that we actually did the spirit box. And the whole time, of course, when I'm going back through the edit, I got the big headphones on, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that entity just told us to shut the fuck up, because we've gotten that a few times.
Shut the fuck up. It actually said it kind of loud. It was like, whoa, wait a minute.
Would you stop fucking talking so loud?
What the fuck is wrong with you? We're just asking questions.
We do want to make another appearance back in that section, because I made Delco goggles since then, which is a pair of goggles that are blacked out, and it's got red LEDs on the inside of the goggles. And my whole mission that I had for us when we went out that night, which we couldn't do it that night, was that there's this chunk of pine trees out there, and it's all the way around it, and then it dishes down, and there's nothing in the middle of it. And I was like, how spooky would it be if we put a chair right in the middle of it, put the Fairy King sitting there with an infrared camera on him, the headphones and the headphones and the
I'm not sure I want to go under there.
You know what was interesting is I was thinking about, because we were going to go to the Mississippi, because as haunted hydrologists, we have to be water related. So that's going to be part of our stuff that we're going to do.
It's a very big word for you, hydrologist.
Oh, but it sounds so good.
It is kind of interesting.
Haunted hydrologist. I love that. It's like, what do you do for a living? I'm a haunted hydrologist.
I just think of hydrologist.
Really, I just make lures that are based off of paranormal stuff, which is awesome, because they're actually doing really good. And I actually catch a shit ton of fish on them, which is even better. But the original thing was that I was going to go onto this Mississippi River, and I was thinking about the Delco goggles and stuff in the spirit box. And I was like, you know what we can't do is do that on the Mississippi if you're sitting on the banks. Because anywhere along the Mississippi, there's so many humans now. I was like, you know what would happen is, my luck, I'd put the Jarl under, he'd be in the headphones and the goggles, and there'd be humans. I'm not scared of ghosts. Humans I don't trust. So it's like he'd be
until they come through and he gets possessed by them.
Oh, don't say that.
And then he starts talking in weird tones.
Oh no. Don't say that. Now I'm gonna have to start getting better at like sage and salt circles.
All right.
I don't know. Charcoal in your pockets. Is that I'm not really sure.
Do we have to have
I feel like we should work on our
K&N filters in there
I feel
to
like
filter out the bad shit?
I
they're good filters.
I feel like we're getting to the point because when we
If you listen to K&N, yep, you can sponsor us.
Because after our last episode, when I went back through it and I had the headphones on and I was listening to the stuff that came through, because I cut that movie down. It was an hour and 40 minutes. I cut it down into 18 minutes, mostly because Dad kept doxing our place. He didn't know any better, Lauren.
And then when we had that one that communicated with us, and I made the mistake, was going to invite it home, you go, shut,
don't do that, don't do that.
I was literally getting invited back to the shop to have a beer with us, and she said, whoa, what are you doing, man? It's like,
I'm not gonna lie. After that, I was like, Jesus, am I gonna have to start, like, my hot tub? Am I gonna have to put sage in the hot tub so you get like a whole spiritual bath out of it?
Okay, so now we got a demolition.
In fact, that would be funny for like when we build our sauna. Is we make like sage teas and stuff to have in the sauna. So it's just like when you pour it in the sauna, it's just like a fucking sage.
What is that technical term that? When you're doing something and you shouldn't be doing it, but you're doing it, it's like, okay, here we are investigating or trying to investigate spirits, but we don't really want to bring them back home. So,
I was trying to.
Where's our guidelines here? It's like, okay, we want to talk to you, but we really don't want to talk to you, but we want to talk to you.
Oh, it's pretty. It's pretty simple. It's like, okay,
we need that filter, good, bad. You know.
Well, you got to know what to say. Because it's like, okay, if you're out there and it's like...
But they're smart.
Demons are. Demons don't give a shit.
Okay. Now I heard...
It doesn't even matter, because you can tell demon or bad spirits or poltergeists or whatever. You're like, you have no authority over me, you can't come with me, you can't come home with me, you have no ability to touch me, blah, blah, blah. If they want to do it, they're still going to do it. Yeah, they really do not.
Okay.
Because I've wondered about it since some of our investigations, specifically this last one, because we kept asking about the woman in white. We kept asking the woman in white, I know you're out here. Hey, just stop fucking it up.
Hey,
sorry, we got a new pizza.
You're not in the budget, man. We can't have you on camera because we can't pay you.
Either that or you gotta jump at least up on the tail so we can introduce you to the world. Until then, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Yep.
All right. Now, the other thing was weird being out there. We kind of went out there on the premises of the old railroad tracks.
We never did get anybody that had anything to do with the railroad tracks, though.
But we did find out.
We did ask, too, and they're just like, nope.
That the road outside the railroad tracks had the history.
The weirdest one, beyond Philip, it was the other one.
Somebody with pin legs.
Yeah, because they kept saying, oh, my legs, and pain, and all this other stuff, and it sounded like a car crash, like you had gotten into a car. And then we ended up, actually, we asked my grandma, because this next Monday marks 50 years
we've been out here.
that this family has owned this property. So that was why I wanted to start the investigation out here, because it's like, I've actually physically seen things on this property, so I wanted to do it here so I can learn my equipment, which of course didn't go so fucking well. In fact, I actually had to take the REM pod fish apart. I had to turn it into I had to filter things and move wires, and
she had no clue what she was doing. She just kept
it's not nearly as cool as the fish was.
Well, this worked. Nope. Okay, they just started on fire. Get the fire.
It's not nearly as cool as that damn fish was, because I made it for going out in the boat, because I thought that'd be funny. Doing a paranormal investigation, you got your fish. Well, it didn't.
Yeah. So we found out. At first we thought, because at one time we actually, on my dad's 50th birthday, one of his best truck driving friends actually died at our end of our driveway. We thought maybe it was him. But the names didn't
coincide, yeah.
But then when Grandma told us that down towards our other neighbors, a lady had flipped over and was pinned under the car.
Oh.
And that's where we went.
Did you catch an ear out of her at all?
No. She couldn't remember. She just It happened
Because it was weird when we kept.
I was still little. Let's see, Grandpa's 50. I can't do the math.
It was weird because when we kept asking the woman in white for her name, in the video that we posted, it said, I'm a demon. It kept saying weird shit like that. And it actually said it actually made fun of me at one point. I cut that part out, but it was weird. You know how I was talking about a blacksmith? I feel like it was the woman in white saying that because she actually, when I was watching the video through and
I thought that was Philip who was the blacksmith.
Again, when I went back through the video and I had my headphones on, it was like blacksmith, and then it said on video. That one caught me. It was right after that. It said blacksmith on video, and I started thinking about it. I'm like,
okay, so it's after the 80s, because
no. Hear me out. Because it's on the same property. When I heard this, it was really weird to me when I heard this because it was like blacksmith on video, and I'm like, okay, we're doing a paranormal investigation on our land, which means they're free roaming our land.
Free roaming?
They're free roaming our land.
Oh, free roaming.
They've seen me blacksmith. They've seen me blacksmith in the yard on camera. And 90% of the time that I blacksmith, I did it on camera.
All right.
So it felt like a fucking rip a little bit.
But isn't that a little creepy? It's like, who's watching who? Are we trying to are they investigating us?
I think they might be investigating us lately because the things that was said, and I cut a lot of that video out, but when I was listening to the headphones and putting the video together, it was like, that thing just ripped on me.
All right, okay.
That fucker just ripped on me right there. What the shit?
We've heard about purgatory. Okay, isn't it another dimension in our ground?
What is there? There's 4 types of paranormal, and it's residual energy from a tragedy, which could have been the legs thing and the car crash thing, because it wasn't answering us. It just said things.
It was pissed off.
It was in pain.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That one never answered us back. Philip did. He actually mentioned some stuff back to us, but the woman in white, every single time we mentioned that woman in white, things that normally don't happen. For example, that spirit box.
Okay, but now was that one trying to get in? Because remember, you first started talking about the apparition. Oh, here's a little one. Evil.
She tried to make it up.
That's a pizza. And
I hope that's on camera. It's just popping up. Just a little face.
When you're mentioning it, and then all of a sudden that other one came in, you remember it kind of felt a little bad. It's like, was that one picking up and going, hey, maybe I'll have an in because they're looking for this woman in white apparition.
There was a lot of things.
I don't trust demons.
There was a lot of things that came out of that video that one wasn't. There's an intelligent one out there. There's residual stuff out there for sure. We've already caught that, which I can't wait to do another investigation, but we've had 30-mile-an-hour winds for the last week, 2 weeks.
And
so we haven't got to get back out there.
Who wants more in on this side than evil? I mean, how much of the good stuff really wants? Maybe it's better over there. I don't know. Maybe they don't have all the crap.
Pizza, you want to bring yourself in? We got a new shop thing.
That's a pizza.
This is Pizza. She's cute. You want to talk to the microphone?
It's probably possessed.
It's like, no, I don't. I want to go away. Okay, continue on being a cat. But no, out of all the entities that we had communicated with that night, the woman in white was the spookiest because there was sounds that I've never heard. There was stuff that came in, and the main things that stuck out was we've ran a spirit box how many times? We actually have a haunted podcast that we did in the shop. Did that spirit box ever stop going through channels?
That's right, it stalled.
It completely, you know what it said right before it? I'm a demon. And it stalled.
Because we both wait a minute, that's it. Because
it was even spookier.
It stalled up for a couple seconds.
What was
and we
spookier
both
about
went,
it
what the hell is that?
when we were making the video, both of us actually stopped, looked at each other, we're like, I don't know what the hell that was that we just heard, but why did it pause?
Yeah, we never heard the spirit box pause.
When I watched it back through,
it always was going.
It was creepy. In fact,
and it stalled for quite a while.
There was a section in that movie, well, the video that we made, where there was something directly next to the truck, and it looked like it was standing there, and then it swept towards one of us, like it might have even been trying. Thank God, both of us are just too belligerent to even know what the hell.
Then what we caught later, when we replayed some of the video, we're kind of going through it. We had this like little fog, but it was like.
Yeah, we mentioned that in the very beginning because that was weird.
But then it did just fade. It swirled. Then faded out.
We debunked most of it, but there was a lot of it that we could not debunk.
Yeah. We
couldn't debunk how it moved and why it moved that fast.
And why it went in a swirl.
Yeah, it was like even with like.
Because
you're trying to get involved. Don't fuck up any of the equipment.
Because at that time, we didn't have any wind because remember it was dead calm and all we could see is the light in the background, so we knew it wasn't wind. So we kind of go through, it's like, okay, what could have caused this? So we tried to debunk it. That one we couldn't figure out because it like came in. Instead of just being like a cloud.
You smell like a dusty little dirt ball.
It twirled and it went away. So we're like, all right, what was that?
It was creepy. We debunked a lot of it. I took a chunk where we were like, at first when we first seen it, we were like,
it's like, okay.
No way did we just catch something that hardcore.
Off of that, and that could do that.
But why did that do this?
It would just go in and out.
Couldn't get rid of that part.
But it came in and swirled.
We tried doing a podcast, 2 weeks ago? It was the week right before we did the investigation. We tried doing a podcast, but somebody, not naming names, who's way too far in the bag to do it. But we were mentioning a bunch of the stuff that, because I was trying, as a paranormal hydrologist, because we were in ice fishing season, I decided, okay, instead of making videos, I want to learn if you can find hot spots out on lakes, like, where to be on the lake. Is there different spots that are going to be a good spot or not? And the things that I had come across were just outrageous. We went to a lake where it was like, we were out on this lake and we were like, I don't know why, but this feels like the spot. We drill a hole and we're looking at the live, front-facing sonar. We're looking at that and it's like, why is it like ricochet? It's making like a whole U. And I put the underwater camera down and we found a pickup truck. That one got my heart racing because I was like, I wanted to be a paranormal hydrologist, but I don't want to actually find somebody under the water.
She gives me a lot of shit, but I'm thinking mini sub. Mini sub. Come on.
And then we're going to be like the YouTubers, and we're going to go...
Implode?
That's what they did. I mean, we're not going 90,000.
Okay,
we're not trying to talk about Titanic.
How many investors do you know went down on a mini sub and imploded?
You know how many investigators have jet johns? Not very many. Me.
Okay.
A lot more lights on it.
Does a hydrologist do?
A haunted hydrologist...
I actually almost said that without really slurring it really bad. On your off time, because, okay, I'm sure they want to know, you're a hydrologist, what are you doing out in a forest?
That was our first time out in a forest.
Okay, we expand.
That was our first, because we were trying to learn some of our equipment, because most of my equipment
you just answered the question.
We were learning some equipment because we knew we have a haunted location, so we knew we could get something instead of, if you go out to a lake, like, if you think about some lakes, some of these lakes are huge. I mean, they're miles. Like, people are going 4 or 5 miles out on these lakes and stuff. So, like, it's hard to find a hot spot. However, I found some fucking hot spots. We did not do video of it, and there was one specifically that we knew not to do video of. But we actually went to a location where we're right off the Mississippi. And as we all know, the Mississippi takes a stupid amount of people every year. And we went to this location. I remember Snapchatting Dad, and I'm like, I don't know why, but it smells like somebody's burning plastic out here. Like, it just smells weird. And I shit you not, after 2 days of just smelling weird atmosphere and like things were kind of weird.
All right.
We pull off this lake. There's a damn crematorium directly on the side of the lake.
That's not the one you
So
want
I'm
me
like,
to,
oh, great.
That's not the one you want me to buy, is it?
No, that's a haunted. It's not a haunted asylum. It's a haunted.
A little bit.
Oh, I can't
It's
think
a
of the
building,
word.
and it's haunted.
It's a word, but it's a.
The crazy house?
Oh, no,
That's an asylum.
no, it was mostly used for. Was it polio back then? Oh my God, I'm gonna screw this up because I don't remember what it is. There was something where it was like a hospital in a way, but it has lakefront property.
But anyway, she's like, Dad, you gotta buy this.
Oh my God, how cool would that be?
What are we gonna do this? Well, we can go and investigate it.
Well, no, okay, think about it
All right,
this
I just
way.
got thousands and hundreds of dollars in my pocket. Let's go get a haunted giant building.
Think outside the box, okay?
Wait a minute, weren't we, if we did outside the box, we were going to build it in and work in it.
Hear me out. This is why I brought it up to you, because I'm like, how cool would it be to have this haunted... Damn it, there's a word that I can't find. We'll just call it a haunted asylum at the time. But it's a haunted...
thing.
Damn it, what is the word? Oh, I don't know. But it's a haunted building, but it has lakefront property. And it was going for a stupid amount of price, where it was just dumb. We snap that up, but it's like, we could fix that up. It could be a hotel, so you could come stay at a haunted place.
We were
On
going to
a
make
haunted lake.
the bed and breakfast haunted.
Oh my
crazy
gosh,
place.
for haunted hydrology, it would have been amazing.
Because it's by the water.
Directly on the lake. The lake has history.
All right. You know how else? See?
The spirits agreed with that one.
See? We eliminated.
The table is like, oh,
Yep,
that sounds
and we
good.
limited all possibilities because we did a lot of research. Like we said, we like to debunk because we don't want to be phone. It's like cell phones. No, because you can put a cell phone here and make it. So we eliminated all that.
It was interesting because, yeah, we got rid of all that stuff, and stuff still happens.
It's the table. I told you.
The
It's the
creepiest thing to me still is the spirit box. Because you're not the one that has to sit and go through the edits.
Because my ears are ringing so bad, all I get is
Well, when we're in the midst
which
of...
we think is probably bringing them in anyway.
I think they're trying to communicate with you, but you're not listening. Because we found this out
The
during
code's all
investigation.
wrong, man. The code's wrong. I don't understand.
Because as the person who goes through all the video,
What-
gotta hear some
Okay,
stuff.
what if I could just say, and I'll listen to ghosts all day? That would suck. They're just going to complain.
You know what's
I'm
gonna
dead,
suck?
I
You
should've
know
went
what would suck worse is once you acknowledge
Drama.
one of them, they're gonna tell all their friends, and then they're all gonna talk, and you're
Then
just
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be like the ghost whisperer dude.
It's gonna be just hissing all the time in your head. After.
See the light? Go to the fucking light. Go to the fucking light. Don't bug me anymore. I'm trying to have a beer. Go to the fucking light.
Here.
You see it? I can see it's bright. Go to the fucking light.
Go that way.
What's so hard about this?
What am I gonna do? What do you want me to tell
You know,
everybody?
you're too stupid to live anyway. Go to the fucking light.
It's funny because as I go through videos, I get to hear all the stuff that they have to say, and I shit you not, they say a lot of
I mean,
stuff.
how many people have died
But none of us are listening
on this
which
that
makes
have watched,
us the worst investigators ever.
watched movies and stuff, and they all say, go to the light.
No, bad. Get off of that. How dare
Not the bush light sign.
What are you doing? Bad. Get down. Bad fluff.
See, is
Excuse
it
me,
fluff?
excuse me.
Is it pizza?
I don't know. I just, when I get mad at it, it's just like,
Maybe
you
we
toaster
should.
strudel.
Maybe we should have went with the.
popcorn.
Maybe we should have went with the first name, Wicked. That's what we were gonna call
No,
it.
because that would act even worse than it already is.
Yeah.
It's just a naughty little
It's
thing.
black. Wicked.
It has this thing with my plants in the office. Oh, I just want to just want, oh, it makes it, because it gets mad. It's like, oh, I see you're giving me attention. I have
All
to
right.
fucking shoot.
Now, if anybody else has heard this, we're talking about the
You're
good.
Stuck. It wanted to get into the bathroom so bad that it actually shoved its head underneath the door today. And then it couldn't fucking back out of it. And I'm like deep into it where I'm like, I can't help you right now. And its head stuck under the door and it's like,
Okay.
by the time I got off the pot, it was like I had to back it out
you
of
see
the
what all
door
this stuff's
handle.
doing? Maybe that's a conduit for evil.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Well,
It's too young. It's easy. It could be easily manipulated. It just wants our attention. It's like I've been.
Let go. All right. Just get on the table.
At least be in the table instead of fucking everything
And
up.
quit drinking our beer.
I mean, do you want beer? Maybe it would fucking calm your ass down.
So, okay, what is that?
Back on track. Sorry.
Yeah.
We have a pizza and it's
And we have
it
shortest
does,
sexes pants.
It does
Pizza.
stuff. It's okay.
I heard, because we were talking about how you decipher white noise. I watched one show that it was white noise. It's supposed to be a certain frequency, and anything above this frequency, which we don't have the
I'm glad we don't.
to
Because we
detect,
probably would hear
but then
shit
we would
shouldn't
know that good, bad, or evil or ugly. Yeah.
hear. I'm a cat in a box in a cat.
I'm a cat on a drunk round table.
It's absorbing spirit energy right now.
Say so. It's like, it's one of me.
Back
It is really
fluffy.
This is what's going to happen to you.
If
when
you
you're
keep
really naughty.
fucking off, yeah, you're gonna become the
You're
next
going to be a microphone dust cover. How do you feel about that?
That's why they call him the dead cat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny because it is. The fluffy things on the microphones are called dead cats. That's probably why, because you guys piss us off, and then we have to make you a microphone.
Make it fun.
I am so excited about the new audio recorder because when we go out fishing, you'll actually hear like the water and the fish and like us talking about catching fish instead of just straight wind. Because when you go on a lake, it's like, oh, they say, oh, it's only 8-9 mile an hour wind. Yeah, when you get out on a lake. In fact, we found out the last time we did a recording, one of these cameras, the audio is junk. It's garbage. It's gone. It's had enough.
What did you tell the guy at the bait shop? You're a paranormal fish investigator?
Oh, that was at the post office.
Oh, the post.
Because when you go into the post office and you're bringing in stuff, it's like, is anything dangerous or whatever? It's like, no.
It's all dangerous.
No, it's just fishing lures. Because I'm a paranormal fishing gator.
This is not the
Fish
bomb you're
investigator.
looking for.
But he about died. He was laughing so hard. I love it. I love it because everybody keeps telling me, it's like, oh, you could ship from your house, you could ship from home. And I'm like, what fun is that? I want to take my investigation unit, I want to go into town with it, and I want to drop off a package and crack some
But
jokes
let's get back.
about
Okay,
it.
a paranormal fish investigator.
That is my excuse to fish and paranormal investigate at the exact
All
same
right,
time.
so fish got little brains like this.
Well, we're not hunting for ghost fish. We're paranormal fish
It
investigators.
sounded like you were going for ghost fish.
Well, we're paranormal fish investigators because,
Hydrology.
well, paranormal hydrologist solves it more.
Submarine.
But a paranormal fish investigator is a fisherman that's into the
Oh.
paranormal.
Now I
You
was going to.
fish until sundown, until prime time's over. When the fish stop biting, that's when you start looking for the paranormal.
And just because they might have died in the water.
We got a, oh my gosh, this year's gonna be so fun because not only do we have 3 John boats that are all set up for it now, especially mine. I got lights on it, it's all dolled in and
Which
stuff.
Dad's never allowed to drive because I'm crazy.
I don't know what you would do on water. We haven't gotten you out on the water.
We don't know. We see what we do on land.
Yeah.
I just
It'd be
exploded a radiator trying to drive the car around the racetrack
I'm
the
not
other
sure
day.
if you'll actually come out paranormal
I'll be
hydrology.
working.
You'll either be working or you won't be into the idea because it's a lot to take in. But we got I got a truck bed tent, and it fits directly inside the John boat. So now we can camp in the boat. We can stay overnight. So it's like, okay, you go out fishing all day, and by the time you get done fishing, you're like, oh God, I gotta drive all the way home now. Nope, not anymore. We've got our tent. We can put our tent all up. It's all set.
I gotta bring this up.
Okay.
All right. Is there a life expectancy on a ghost?
Here's my theory on spirits and water.
Which is going to bring up another thing I'm going to bring up.
You're going to like this because...
You're going to like this even more.
They've actually proven with science that water holds memory. So with water holding memory, if something tragic happens in the water, it's going to be harder to do with a river because a river is constantly flowing. So that memory actually, like at the bottom of the river, at the bottom of the line...
Here it goes again.
At the bottom of the line, you're going to get a lot more stuff happening.
If you take a bucket of water out of that lake, you just took half its brain away?
Well, okay, the way I could explain it is...
Memory. But what if you brought that lake water home and there was something in it?
Then it would be just like every other haunted thing.
Don't they have a thing where they put fish in to keep them in one of their... what is that called?
The live well?
The live well. And you bring that live well. What if you brought something home in that live well?
A fish could honestly, okay, here's a weird, just hypothetical weird thing. A fish could be running around the bottom of the lake and suck up, well, whatever.
Or fishy stuff.
Just keep swimming.
I don't think they run. Let's just get that clear.
Okay, but they could suck up like a necklace or a ring or something. Boom.
Boom.
Haunted fish. Paranormal fish investigating.
And then you brought it home.
Because they...
Open it up. Release the thing in your house.
Oh my God, yeah, you're right.
Just thought about it now.
Oh my God, you could.
And what if we deep fried them and ate them?
Dude.
We could get possessed.
This makes me want to go. This makes me want to go carp fishing
Makes me down there want to eat fish.
This makes me want to go carp fishing because carp like have those big sucker faces, and they'll just like suck random shit up off the bottom of the lakes and the rivers and stuff. How weird would it be if you caught a carp? And we like to just pop the bellies open because we're curious. Okay, what is the bait they're eating? What are they into these days? You know. Which is weird because we kept hearing this stuff about the perch stuff, and it was like we'd pop there, and they were eating walleye. All those big jumbo perch that everybody was catching this year, full of walleye.
Now that you have the...
But what if you did that with a carp?
Okay, but now that you have...
Maybe pull a goddamn wedding ring out of it.
Okay, but now that you have in your brain, wouldn't you want to be investigating that fish when you brought it home going...
No.
Let's look up, let's put it on the laptop. Let's go in and throw this thing.
Here's what gets me. Here's what gets me to want to go to certain lakes. One of the first lakes that I went and did a paranormal investigation on was because it was something to really actually investigate it. I was really looking for answers.
Could I be excused for a minute?
For what?
I gotta put a log on the fire.
No, it's fine. We'll fix. Is it that bad?
It's glowy.
Okay, hold on. So, the first investigation that I went to go do was because I heard a story. And the story was that in January, which in Minnesota in January, your lakes are frozen. They're frozen solid. And if they're not, they're usually river fed. I mean, it's a bad year. There's a lot of stipulations to why the water would be open. But somehow, an older woman, about 65 years old, somehow...
Did she feel 65? Or was she 65?
Hear me out. Because this was my first investigation, and this is why I wanted to go there, was because of this story, because I was really actually curious.
You believe in this shit? Okay.
I went out there because it was said that January, this gal went out on the lake. She walked out on the lake, took all her clothes off, put a fucking brick to her legs, and went down. You cannot tell me that's a suicide. Who the would want to suicide that way?
She didn't want to ruin her clothes.
Suicide that way. I mean, if you're going to put yourself at the bottom of the lake, why would you do it that way? So that was the original reason.
Okay.
that we went to this lake, but then we ended
Why
up
would you
finding
not
that
just
truck.
put the brake on, go down with your clothes on,
Exactly.
instead of going down and go, okay, now everybody's going to see I'm dead and naked?
My only theory was maybe she thought nobody would find
Or
her,
she was an
and she would just
exhibitionist.
become part of. What does that even mean?
They run around naked.
Oh.
Exhibition.
Well, my theory was maybe she thought she wouldn't be found, and then she would just become part of nature, and there would just be a brick. That was my theory.
Skeleton hanging by a chain.
So that was my first investigation. Was I went to this lake because it's not a very well-known story, but I knew about it. So I was curious about it, and that was where we found the truck, 35 feet underwater, square body truck underwater. So my heart was already racing. So I'm like, great, I came out here for this.
F1.
I came out here for this story, and now I just found a truck, and now everything's getting
Thank God it wasn't a
crazy.
Chevy.
But if I had to pick one place that was the scariest, it was right next to, what is it, Camp Ripley that's up there?
Yeah, my brainer.
There's a lake, Lake Alexander. We were on this lake, and the only way I could explain the sounds that I heard is in Silent Hill, there's a prison under the water. So under their lake in this video game, they have a prison underneath the lake. And it just had like that echoing, weird, like you're shutting like a steel gate, or like just weird stuff.
Yeah, because you texted me like, you went,
I was freaked out on that one.
this is the evilest thing I've ever felt, Dad.
We got out to
It
this
was
lake.
crazy.
We were gonna, and even the Jarl, he was just like, all right, you ready? Let's do this investigation. I shut him down. I said, no.
It's
said,
back.
I said, I don't want to do this investigation because if you've ever watched Paranormal Investigation, they always say, oh, if you need extra energy, you can take it from our equipment.
Quit smacking me around.
You can take energy from our equipment.
Yeah, right now she knows the camera's rolling. Look at
She's
me.
even talking to the microphone.
Look at me.
All right, stay on track.
Because I got to bring up another thing.
No, not yet. The Jarl was like, hey, let's do this investigation. I said, no, hell no, because our generator had already gone out. At this point, we were living on battery life in our ice castle. And I'm like, okay, the last thing I want to do is acknowledge anything that knows we're here. Because they will suck all the battery juice out of our ice castle. They will leave us stranded.
Now-
We would have lost everything, and we were already living on borrowed time because they knocked out our generator. They knocked out all of my battery life on all of my equipment. It was like, I can't recharge anything. I can't do anything. I was like, nope, we ain't doing this
Now,
one.
just bring-
Of all the places, we ain't doing this one. Because
Now-
that was some shit that I can't explain.
Yeah, we didn't even think about this when we were talking about, remember the one camera? We go, why don't... Okay, remember we're sitting in the back of the truck, and we're asked, going, if you wanted to speak to us, use one of our equipments.
It shut our camera off. It shut one of our cameras off.
Now, this would be crazy.
Which was convenient because it did it right at the end.
Now, if we go back and look at the timestamp and see when the camera went dead and when we asked it that, if it didn't drain that one
It
camera, and
it
when we
didn't.
seen the swirly stuff.
It didn't coincide.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't coincide.
Debunk that then.
It was weird though because the camera actually shut off right as we were about to say we're done. So it was like we were just about to be like, the storm's getting bad, we gotta leave.
And okay,
And
again,
right before
batteries
that,
die, batteries die.
everything-
This was a
everything
brand
stopped.
new battery. It's always lasted longer than that before that. All right, here's the other thing.
We did mention that though, like we're like, hey, if you need energy, take it from our camera equipment or whatever. Which I don't even think I want to say that again because like I'm running on Amazon specials, so it's like no, I don't want to. Don't take my battery source. It's like I'm
were
not
out
even
there-
smart enough to figure out how to change the batteries.
And
out
you know
in
what
the
they
middle
do?
of
But
it.
it's really smart. It really wanted to screw with us. You take it out of the Toyota. Click, click, click.
We mentioned that.
Click,
we
click,
mentioned that. I'm
click.
like, because you. I
We
was
went
like,
to have
never
an
mind, never mind,
isolated
never mind.
battery thing on it, so we.
Yeah, we're like, never mind, don't do that because I want to actually drive my
All right,
truck.
now
home
let's
and-
not ever do that again. Or
Yeah.
we'll put out
We're
a
not
power.
offering.
We'll put out a power source for
Give it its own. Oh my god, you know what'd be funny is you know those little weird globe things that has like like the 80s where it's got the things where you touch the little ball thing and it's got the little zips that come off of it, like Mom used to have in the house. It was like that weird little ball in a globe, and it had all those little.
Oh yeah. Can you put your hand on it and follow it?
That.
Anybody from the 80s knows this? Okay.
Let's bring one of those fuckers. Let's get one of those.
God.
Here's your energy source.
Do we have one?
No, but we could get one. I want one now. That's their energy source. You want energy, take it from
I
that.
want that in the middle of the drunk table.
Just going. What if it would like.
And then it started doing shit by itself.
Instead of just doing its normal, it just stuck to like a spot or like trailed or something.
Or
that'd be weird.
Jammed down, and then something got trapped inside of it when you catch it.
Dad's got this weird thing. When the hell were they made the Furbies? When the hell were those made?
Oh.
Dad was talking about those Furbies, and I shit you not, I asked Grandma. They've got 5 of them. There's 5 of them up there.
All right.
Of every color from that year.
The original 1980s. I got you one. It cost me $85.
I think Grandma still has it. For some reason, Grandma thought they were entertaining, so she kept them. How funny would that be? Because they did shit random out in some of the areas they were already, so it's like, it would be kind of weird.
I don't know.
I feel like it'd freak me out.
Because then we're talking about, it's like, okay, what? 5 of them? We pentagram? Don't they have 5? Or is it 6? We're going to put them...
Oh my God, it's 5. It's 5, and she has 5. No, we can't do that.
Can't.
Somehow we would accidentally...
They would start talking, and shit would hit
Somehow we would accidentally make like the next Annabelle, but it would be a Furby.
A Furby,
They'd have to put it in one of those glass containers.
And no matter how much you got rid of it, it would always come back.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that.
You'd hop in your car the next day and be in the seat going, oh.
In fact, that's why it's taken us so long to actually do investigations, because
we don't know what's going to happen when it comes into us.
What's the number one thing that happens in all the movies? They go out, they're like, oh, we don't believe in it, we're just messing around.
Fuck up shit,
and then
open up
somehow
a
they do something, and we don't want to be those people. So there is a learning curve for sure. Again, that's why all the paranormal hydrology shit that I did this year, I did
alcoholic back through, and they drank over beer.
That would suck.
That would be the worst right there.
Oh, I'd be pissed.
Oh,
I would say
so I got to bring up this other thing.
Fast.
Just because I'm already thinking about it. And this little thing.
Don't eat the microphones.
On the water stuff.
Oh, she disconnected you. She disconnected you.
Trick. I'm not working anymore. Look at you, unplug me. Thanks a lot, cat. Pizza. That's it. You're going into what was the pizza oven? You're going in the pizza oven.
She already looks like she's been in the pizza oven for a while. She's a little burnt. She's a burnt pizza.
The fog. They died on the water. When the fog came in, they were allowed to come on land and
because
kick people's ass.
the moisture was water, and it travels, and it actually
I didn't think about that until you just said that.
Water holds memory, and they've actually proved it because they've done tests where they'll put something in the water, and then they'll take tests. They'll take water tests, and then they'll dilute it and dilute it and dilute it and dilute it and dilute it to the point where there shouldn't be a single trace, and nothing changes.
Okay. Now.
So it holds the memory of it, but.
Work with me here.
Chemically, there wasn't a thing there anymore. So it's like, okay, they put a chemical in the water, and then they dilute it and see if the chemical is still there. Chemically, it wasn't there, but microscopically, it was still partially there. So water does kind of hold memory, and that's why I think a lot of people don't do it. A lot of people will say it's conductive.
Okay, work with me, little scientist lady.
I'm trying so hard.
Now, what do the Ghostbusters do?
Oh God! Now we're talking.
Okay, wait.
Warner's Brothers type shit.
No. We're talking the fog, memory, and they come through it. So.
Check.
Just like the water can we trap a ghost because it's in the water?
You know who's been trying to do that? God, there's a research group that actually tries to do that. The Wraith Chasers. The Wraith Chasers, actually, every episode, they try to make all these different equipment. They've done where they have misters and lights or things, and they try to...
different wavelengths to see them inside.
They try to catch it in a box and bring it back to their facility, and then they try to do unopened. It's already got a spirit box, everything, so they just plug into it.
Again, we need a mini sub.
There's not.
I know where you can get one.
There's not a lot. In fact, what's hard about paranormal investigating nowadays is too many people have made videos where it's cheesed. There's a ton of movies where it's like, oh, paranormal investigators go out to this place and then they find out it's not as good, you know? And it's like all this stuff. But what's fun is me and Dad, as little scientists, we like to build our own equipment. So we don't have a REM pod that you can buy offline. We don't
$1 million budget.
We don't have the budget and shit, but we do know.
We have beer.
Some things.
And a lot of weird
theories.
Ideas.
Yeah.
And theories.
So, like our REM pod is 100% home built. I've had some trials and tribulations with it. Again, somehow my antenna linked to the lights, and then it was using the lights as the antenna, and I had to, what would you call that, insulate the situation and change that, and we'd like to get a lot better. So if you buy a fishing lure, every fishing lure that is bought, for a limited time, you can get a couple extra ones in your order, because I'm trying to learn how to paint a little bit better, so I have some extras. So I'll throw that in your thing. But with every fishing lure that you buy, you help us put it back into our paranormal research.
These lures are cool as hell.
They are very cool. I've gotten really high regards
Now,
off of them. So if you haven't checked that out, fuckoffabrication.com.
The Ghostbusters had their Pro-Pond pack with their stuff.
How does that go? Before we get going, it's a word from our sponsors. Oh wait, we don't have sponsors. We are the sponsors. So buy our fishing lures. Because it does go back into our investigation stuff.
They use nuclear stuff in the proton blaster.
You know what's going to suck, though?
Why can't we do that with big squirt guns?
Here's what I'm worried about. I love paranormal investigating. But what I'm worried about...
Will they love us? Haunt us and kill us?
This is what I'm worried about, is that I'm going to paranormal investigate, and I'm going to finally find something that actually makes me just about poop my clothes and have to change my drawers, and then I'm not going to find it entertaining anymore. I feel like I should have salt in my doors.
In your pants?
That sounds itchy and terrible. And dry your butthole out.
Alright, you said nothing. Alright, now, we're talking about this. What? None of them ever said, what's going to happen when they do come through? How are we going to be prepared?
Well, you're going to be so oblivious that you're not going to be prepared anyways.
Okay. If we're gonna go this route, should we be prepared? What if we bring something in? We should be able to send it back.
We should have like a
because they go
thing,
and they bring it in. They go, oh, what do we do now? Should we be prepared to send it back?
Okay,
if it does come around.
I have a theory for you, and what they say is the best paranormal investigators.
Is a good offense is a good defense or something like that?
Okay, hear me out. They say the best paranormal investigators...
Why is that in my koozie in my beer?
The cat brought it.
It looked like it ate half the koozie, too.
Oh my god, it does.
It did. Oh, shit. Alright. So, you know what I'm saying? We should be able to combat them if we get them in.
Hear me out. They say the best paranormal investigators are witches. Because witches before...
Do you see what's on your counter there? You're a witch.
Exactly.
Look at her little potions.
Fun.
You can't see it. She's got a hole. She's probably a witch.
Here's what's fun about it.
Fairy.
I'm the fairy princess.
So therefore, you are kind of magical, and that's why you got those little potions over there.
Well, here's what.
On these lures you buy, her little potions are on these lures, and they do work.
That is true.
They're magical.
That's why they catch so many fish, ain't it? They catch fish good.
All right, did I just give up your best secret? You didn't even know your secret.
Oh, I didn't even know it until you said it. Yeah,
All right.
you're right.
It's your,
Oh, wait a minute.
It's your birthday now or something like that. You should be told
I
that
still
you are
have
a witch.
a chunk of battery life. Our other one ended, so we're getting up there on time.
Oh God, we gotta leave now?
Okay,
Does that mean we gotta quit drinking beer?
before we go.
No.
The reason they say that witches are the best paranormal investigators is because they already are.
Witches?
You need to give me a chance. It's because they already are. Most practitioners of witchcraft and stuff, it's usually of cleansing ritual type shit, like cleansing yourself from bad energy and bad this, bad that, bad shit. They start there. Your best witches start there, where they cleanse from just poopy energy and just bullshit from the life. So as they learn more, they kind of already are in between realms. So they already have a really good idea of it. That's why I think I already have kind of a weird sixth sense of
I should probably
what's
get
going
paid
on.
more for this because I'm going to be your advertising king.
Oh, he doesn't even.
Besides the fairy king, which you're the fairy princess.
The king doesn't fucking
Now,
catch fish though.
What do the fairy folk do? We are.
People are afraid of
Wait
the
a minute.
thing.
We are in tune with everything nature. Therefore, with your little witch's brew on your stuff when you're making your lures, they're in touch with nature, therefore they're going to catch the best fish.
Somebody mentioned something weird to me the other day, and
All right.
it was... Here,
Do I get a raise yet?
no.
Come on, it was like $1 million right there.
If you guys buy umpteen amount of lures, we'll give Dad a raise.
I deserve it. I mean, I keep buying all the beer.
I somehow force you into all the videos too. You poor bastard.
Force me? I love this.
Yeah, true.
You know what?
Well, because everybody else is always busy. I mean, you were just like, let's go do weird shit.
We gotta do this, or we gotta be a million hands and make it. I could care less.
We just
We're
want
just having fun.
We just want to go out and do it.
And we hope you can have fun with us because.
And you know what? At one point, when we're fucking dead and gone, we'll probably be famous because people
we'll
actually
be
go back into we're gonna hide bitch asses for sure.
All of you for not believing that we did it. Oh wait, do we have to die in the water then?
No.
But we're hydrologists.
You know what? I've had weird.
Oh my God! What if you would die and come back like Mr. Limpet?
I had weird.
As a fish.
Okay,
Most
wait a
people don't
minute.
even know
I have
Mr.
weird
Limpet is.
scenarios in my head where I'm like, okay,
You do a lot of
as a
research.
paranormal hydrologist, because I've heard a lot of there are lakes out there that I will
I better
not.
put on my smart glasses for this.
There are lakes that I have researched into that I won't touch with a 10-foot pole. Out of pure, if there is,
You couldn't afford a 10-foot pole.
if there was bad shit on this lake, I don't want to be like in one of those movies where you're looking over the edge of the boat and it's just like, I don't want to fucking drown. That sounds terrible. I don't want to die that way. So it's like there is a lot of things that come into my mind. It's like, am I going to be sitting out in this John boat? It's flat top water. I'm going to ask
piss off
stuff,
something?
and all of a sudden I'm in white caps and it flips the boat or something. It's like I don't know if I want to test it too far. So I've been very cautious.
I almost was
about
going
what
to go
I'm
on. It's
doing.
like, okay,
Because
you piss off something.
I thought about jumping directly into it. It's like, I'm going to go out, I'm going to find the most haunted lakes, I'm going to sit on the hauntedest lakes. I've only sat on one really, really haunted lake, and it was enough to spook me a little bit where I'm like, ooh, okay, I have to have an actual little bit of respect.
So then why do we do this?
Because I want to know, but I don't want to know too much. Does that make sense? I want to know,
Exactly.
but I'm definitely going to probably stay wary of certain places.
Yep.
I've seen enough, heard enough, know enough. There are lakes that I won't touch.
So,
like, I see a lot of people do paranormal investigations on, like, Lake Mead or, God, there's a bunch of them, and they're bad. And it's like, if you go to a lake where hundreds and hundreds of people have died, there's something wrong there. And it's not the lake itself or the haunting. It's not the haunting of the lake. It's the actual lake itself.
Okay.
It can go from flat top lake to take you down.
Here's where we're gonna go.
God, we've gotten hit by
Here's where to go.
wakeboarding fucking boats before, and it almost flipped us over. So I would hate to see what a pissed off
You
ghost
start
would do.
building the equipment to detect if they're out there. I'm going to start building the equipment that if we do bring them over, I can send them back. I'm going to be like the military.
You're like the supernatural guy.
No, I'm going to be like the military one going, all right, you fucked up, I'm going to take them out and bring them back.
You're like the supernatural boys.
Yeah, because you're going to be a little excited, oh, I want to bring them through. It's like,
No, I don't.
And I'm going to go, okay,
No,
fuck you,
no.
you're going back.
I am 100% only there for a conversation. I mention that every time.
Until it goes wrong.
I am only here for a conversation. You are not allowed to attach to me. You're not allowed to come with me. You're not allowed to hurt me in the name of fucking Thor, Odin, fucking everybody.
And if that doesn't work,
why everybody?
you're going to have me.
You're not allowed to do
I'm
shit
gonna build
to me.
a
I
deterrent.
don't want that to be the I want to have a conversation with you. Even if you're a mean, evil thing. Just have a chat with me real quick. Leave me the fuck alone, okay? I don't want to go home with you.
You know what'd be really crazy right now?
I don't want to go home with you.
If this whole table just started levitating up in the air.
No, don't say that. I'm
In a
not
good
ready
way.
for that shit. I'm not ready for that. Because then we'd have a poltergeist in the shop, which would be even worse. Because we've already proved that our shop is haunted. Because somebody, not naming names, brought in cistern mirrors that I was told.
Oh, the mirror thing.
I was told never
Ancient mirrors we have. Oh,
I was told
right.
never to let these mirrors see each other.
You guys watch a lot of movies? A lot of movies.
I
about
was told
mirrors.
never to let these mirrors see each other.
This thing's gotta be a
And what did
building
I do?
itself.
I had too many mirrors in the same damn room. Didn't even think about how I could see through another mirror. And yeah, things have been weirder since then. Because I didn't know any, I didn't even think about
You pointed them at each other, didn't you?
They weren't even pointing at each other, they were just oblong where they could see each other. And I seen it when I was talking to one of the cats. It was just like, oh no.
Yeah,
And then
that's
it made so much sense because
I had to go full-blown military
I've
Ghostbuster
literally
guy.
been dead in a sleep
Is he gonna
and
bring
woken up because I've heard something and I know it's not the cats because I wake up and I'm looking at both the cats and I'm like, oh no, what was that? And I'll come downstairs and there's things that are thrown off my table that I can't explain. So it's like, oh great, sweet, wonderful. I let things loose here. First it was the table, which the table's not that bad because he's just a whiskey drinker, normal guy. This haunted table is all right. But those mirrors, I was told very specifically not
didn't
to
tell
let
him
them
about that.
see each other, and I opened
It was in
portal
one
with
of our
it.
episodes
Yep.
at the table,
At the
and he was a
table.
whiskey drinker. So he said,
The
"Do you like
mirrors-
beer?"
the
And he
mirrors-
said, "Nope, he likes whiskey."
Those mirrors was the biggest mess up that I've ever done because I was very told not to let them see each other. I kept them in separate rooms for years. And then for some reason I wanted to put one
I don't
in
like
one.
mirrors anyway because
I wanted
I'm
to put
a little bit out of shape.
I wanted to put one in the bathroom and one in my bedroom, but I had another one in the other side of the bedroom where it went from the bedroom to the wall into the bathroom. Didn't even think about it. Didn't even think about the ricochet. Never even crossed my mind when I did it.
See
Boom.
now,
Unleashed whatever the hell
strategically,
because I've definitely seen some
I could
shit in
use
this
those
shop.
mirrors to go bang, 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 focus them, and put them in my little can. And send them back.
Oh. Again, every lure that you buy, you're going to help.
Comes with some really weird shit.
You're going to help with our paranormal research because me and Dad are getting into a lot more.
Fairy princess, tune with nature, and the lure she's building.
It's interesting because we want to know, but we don't want to test it too bad. We're smart enough to know like a boundary slightly, even though we do mess up. And if we do, at least it's on us, and hopefully we get it on video.
We
I
gotta have
guess.
a battle plan here.
I do have a lot of battle plans. I know how to completely cleanse
No, you
us.
just kind of want to bring them in.
I know. No, wait.
What if sage is not enough?
You should see the bell I have. You know what that demons don't like?
we
Is
can't.
the sound of a
use,
bell.
We can't use bullets. We can't use any.
No, they don't-
normal ordnance.
they're-
We have
it's
to come up with some
certain
kind of stuff.
It's certain stuff. It's how you say it. That's how you go about it. I have a bell that's this big around that I use in the house. And you go around your whole house with all of it, man. I've done all this research on how to get it out of my house, but most of the time I'm like, whatever. I
Ghostbusters.
kind of rather have you hang
on the
out.
piano. Ding, 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 ding. This drives me crazy.
Exactly. I know a lot of stuff. Have I messed up on some stuff? Yeah, but you know what? Whatever spirits we have in our shop haven't been
really
what is the word I'm
bad
looking
90s
for? Malevolent?
music.
We probably destroy them with the music we already play, so they probably have already gotten annoyed and tried to leave. In fact, we're probably more of a hell for them than where they were before.
Let's get the fuck out of it. We don't even want to touch these idiots.
Now that I think about it, it's like there's probably entities that are probably sitting in the shop there just like,
nope.
Where's the door? Oh my God, there's no windows or nothing in this shop. So until the big doors go open, they can't even leave. They're stuck with us, listening to us. Oh, you poor bastards. Well, for shit's sakes, there's definitely a low battery on that one, so we'll have to put this in. Okay.
My battery's fully charged.
Yours is. I
ain't talking about the camera thing.
One of them's definitely weaker than the other for sure.
Is it snowing yet?
It's supposed to. Well, I tell you guys what. We have another.
A lot of stuff. But.
We have another episode of our podcast that we did not put out. It is because I was too.
Yep.
You get this up to 50 likes, which I would just be impressed if a few people looked at it, because our investigation, we only had like 7 views in like 5 days, and it broke my heart because it's like, that was a good we actually.
I didn't give a shit because I'm just having fun.
It made me sad because we actually caught things on camera.
Yes, we did.
It was actual caught shit on camera. There was actual real stuff in that video, so that's what made me. It wasn't so much the views; it was like, damn it, nobody sees
we're trying to go look like,
and nobody believes us because they haven't watched the video.
You see all these other paranormal events. They're out to make money, scripted, do all this stuff. We're out there for fun, and we're catching.
We were out there just to see if any of our equipment would do anything.
We do the scientists like, debunk it.
Well, look at the.
What was that? Okay, what was it? Did it do this? Did it do that? Could it be this? Could it be that?
We're like debunking while also doing.
Then we eliminate that. You can't explain.
Well, look at how many times we took that REM pod fish and we'd set it out in front of us while we were having a bonfire. And we were just sitting around drinking, having a bonfire, and we'd have that fish sitting out in front of us, and it'd be going for
just like this
hours.
Right now.
We'd have that thing on for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it would never go off. It would never go off. Never made a peep. Not a single peep out of that thing.
And like this one, this thing is stuck in a wrench.
We have 2 locations that we still want. Well, I want to go back to the original location that we did our first investigation at, because I want to put you in the spirit box with the Delco goggles.
I ain't going in that spirit box. You gonna put me?
I want to put you in those Delco goggles. I think that'd be so entertaining. I want to see.
That's like listening to Pink Floyd with headphones on, tripping on acid.
Oh, it sounds so cool.
Yeah,
I want to put you in there. Well, somebody has to. One of us has to sit there. And if I go under, you have to take reins.
You can hear better than me.
Okay, but you have to.
I'm always rangy.
Well, then you have to take over being hostess. So you have to run the show.
Wait a minute, hostess. Is there a different word for that? It sounds so feminine.
Regardless, I want to go back to that original spot because there's.
I'm not relating to that.
We have more. We have more equipment that
I'm out of beer again.
In fact, I couldn't even use the equipment because the equipment. We forgot to go out there with the flashlights. We had no flashlights the entire time. That was the worst part.
That was it.
I couldn't use the recorder.
Remember when I fell off the side of the truck because we
Oh my God, I seen that in video. When I went back through the video, you jumped off the side of my truck, and when you hit the ground, it was just like gravity was not on your side. I'm glad I cut that out of it, but wow, yeah, you were just like, what?
And I'm old. And the
On that bombshell.
Even though it's a little Toyota, it was a long way to the ground.
On that bombshell, until the fucking next time. Stay spooky, guys, and go watch our other videos. And if you're new here and you like what you see, give us a thumbs up.
Or give us some comments and stuff so we can
give us a comment, because that really actually helps us know if you guys like to hear what we have to say or if we're just babbling idiots. At least tell us that. Tell us we're stupid. We don't care.
They won't tell you to fuck up and die anyway, but you're too stupid to live. But
tell us something.
Tell us something.
Let us know. Again, until next time, guys.
I can drink another beer. Till the next time.